Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and I hope all of you are enjoying this update as much as I am. Freaking loving it. I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to all of you that joined me in that live stream. Thank you so much for being with me. You guys really gave me a lot of luck, and I really appreciate y'all being there. So this is the first thing that you see when you log into this update, and this is fantastic. You have the Gentile Collab celebration login bonus, which after 21 days, you're going to be able to get this letter right here, which is going to enable you to awaken a Fest Collab character. That's fantastic. Not only that, but you get, free Elizabeth, and you're going to be getting free souls for Elizabeth. You're going to get some free tickets to try to get a card, to get a fighter. Very cool stuff. And then, of course, we have this event going on here already. We have this event, and then you have this here, special login streak bonus. So after 7 days, we're going to get 300 rubies. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Freaking loving the hell out of it. Okay, give me this here. Yep. Yeah, get off that. We don't want none of that. So yesterday, I got really lucky in that live stream. I ended up getting all the Fest units for the Gentile characters. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about these 3 units right here. And we're also going to talk about Elizabeth. So the first character I want to take a look at is Katsura. Katsura is a green balance type. He has a 55% increase to attack to Gentile fighters. He has a 30% burn attack damage increase, a stun duration decrease, 20% burn damage decrease, 3.2% critical rate increase. And this here really synergizes super well with his active skills. This is actually wonderful for him. Disable target's roll for 4 seconds upon landing an active skill on a 15-second cooldown and increase attack by 20% for 4 seconds. The reason this is so powerful is because Katsura has a chance to ignore guard on his first and his third skill. If he ignores your guard, he is going to land that active skill and he's going to disable your roll. And if he disables your roll, guess what? He has another skill that can ignore your guard. So for example, if you ignore his guard, you ignore the opponent's guard with your first skill, you're still going to have your third skill to maybe ignore the guard again. Although when you do ignore guard, usually you can go in your combos afterwards, and you'll find when you're playing with Katsura, you can actually go in your combos fairly well. He's a pretty damn fun character. I actually had a hell of a lot of fun with him in the live stream. I was loving the hell out of him. But this is pretty sweet too. Gains 2% power on a 4-second cooldown, decreases damage received by 30% for 4 seconds upon landing a critical hit. So critical hits are vital for this guy to gain PG, which is important for him because he has a 3 PG card, and this is what makes it even better. All the Gentile characters have this core effect right here. Buffs make the game. 10% chance to gain 20% power upon landing an active skill when HP is 50% or more on a 12-second cooldown. So as long as your HP is 50% more, you have a 10% chance to gain 20% power on top of the PG gain that he has from his core effect from landing critical hits. Yeah. He is going to build up his PG super fast. If this takes effect, you're going to be able to use your 3 PG pretty quick. It's pretty insane, actually. And then he has a 10% chance to deal additional damage equal to 400% of attack to all enemies upon landing a skill when HP is 49% or less. So when you get below 49%, you're not going to have that PG gain, but you have a chance to deal a whole lot more damage, which is pretty sweet. Take a look at his skills. His first skill, this is what I'm talking about. 30% chance to ignore the target's guard, and he deals burn damage. So you actually have dot damage, which is wonderful. Then on his second skill, he has a 50% chance to stun the enemy for 2 seconds upon landing a skill. That's pretty cool. It's a shame it doesn't say or guard, because this means whenever they're guarding against it, they won't get stunned. However, he has ignore guard on his first and third skill. So he can still ignore their guard and still use his skill afterwards and still get the stun. The third skill, he gains super armor for 3 seconds when using his skill, and he has another chance to ignore their guard. So he has no immunity, but he is a technical type, so he's going to have decent defensive stats. Plus he gets the decreased damage received by 30% from his core effect. So he's actually a little tanky. I wouldn't say extremely, but a pretty awesome character to play. And then his striker bonus to stun an enemy for 2 seconds. You preview his skills. Check this guy out, man. He is freaking awesome. I'm loving it. So this skill has an ignore guard. Very nice. Throws the bombs, a little burn damage. And this skill is really wild because if you notice, look what it's doing. He throws out Elizabeth, and Elizabeth just kind of keeps the opponent up in the air. Boom, 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 boom. And what this skill can actually do for you is it can kill time. You can actually kill time and let your other skills get off cooldown. That's very useful. It's actually a pretty quality freaking skill, and it pushes them away from you, creating some distance. So unless you're facing some characters that have some major range attacks, that's a really awesome skill. Then the third skill, nice. And that has a 30% chance to ignore guard as well. I really like that skill, even though it's simple, I really like it. And this is the crazy one. Not bad, not bad. Pretty decent long animation, really funny actually, pretty cool. Katsura is a pretty sweet character. Anybody that has him, they ought to be pretty freaking happy. He is a quality character. Now let's take a look at Kami. Kami is a yellow balance type. He increases yellow element fighters attack by 50%, so his leadership is wonderful for all yellow fighters, which is awesome. You look at his core effect, you got some burn attack damage increase, so he deals a lot of burn, 20% burn damage decrease, a little penetration, strike skills damage increase. And when you see things like this almost tells you immediately that this guy's going to be mainly a PvP dude. When you see a core effect, you're my prey. Just solid PvP exclusive, no white text. That pretty well hints to you what he's going to be really awesome at. Not to say he wouldn't be good at PvE, because he would, but this is where he's really going to shine, I believe. Decrease the attacker's power by 3% when attacked. Cooldown time 2 seconds, and reflects burn and bleed damage received by 50%. Huh? 50%. So when he's facing characters that have burn and bleed, by the way, which are some of the most powerful characters in the game, Genet's bleed damage, he reflects 50% of the damage. That's crazy, but it gets better. Increases burn damage by 60% for 10 seconds when using an active skill. So just using the skill, it's only 20-second cooldown, you gain 60% burn damage increase. Deals burn damage equal to 250% of attack upon landing a critical hit on a burn target. So when they're burning, you land a critical hit, your burn damage is going to go through the roof. So not only the reflect in PvP, but this crazy insane burn. And then he's got the same buffs as the rest of the Gintama characters, which is crazy. That means when he gets below 49, so he's got a 3PG card as well. He can build up his PG super fast because he has a 10% chance to gain 20% power, right, upon landing a skill, as long as his HP is 50% above. And then he has this extra attack. This is crazy. 250% attack of burn, 60% increase of burn, and then he could get this 400% on top of that. Whoa, whoa. Now his first skill gives him an increased attack by 29% for 7 seconds. PvP exclusive, disables the target's active skill. So it doesn't matter if they're strike, it doesn't matter if they're blast or grab. He can disable their damn skills for 3 seconds when a successful skill or guard included ends. So the only way they can avoid this is by dodging. It's the only way. So if they're guarding, they're screwed. You're going to disable their skills for 3 seconds. They're not going to be able to use their skills for 3 seconds. That's crazy powerful. And then he gains super armor for 3 seconds on his second skill. We all know about super armor. And then deals burn damage equal to 27% attack, 1 second for 7 seconds upon landing a skill. Lots and lots of burn. Then he has a 100% chance to ignore the target's guard upon landing a successful attack. 100% chance. And check this out. 100% chance to remove the target's super armor or hyper armor. Increase attack by 30% for 5 seconds and decreases defenses by 5% for 5 seconds when successfully hitting a target with super armor or hyper armor. So if you're timing your skills and you're hitting a character that has super armor or hyper armor, this is crazy. You ignore their guard, you take away their freaking super armor and hyper armor, crazy burn damage, 3PG card, Kami is probably going to make one hell of a splash in the meta. I'm predicting it. He just looks damn strong. His damage is pretty crazy on top of that. And then he has a nice striker bonus. Recovers active team members' HP by 10%. First skill. And look at how fast he moves. Just look at the hesitation at the very beginning. That's not much of a hesitation, guys. That is a fast startup. Look at that. That's a fast startup. And then the second skill. I like his music too. Nice. And then the third skill. I mean, look at how fast he is. There's a little hesitation there. It looks like a little bit longer than the first skill, but not by much. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I love this skill. Simple but effective, and definitely reminiscent of Kami. Time to do some pounding. I love it, man. Kami is awesome. I'm so happy I got this guy, and I hope all of you got him too. But I really think this guy's going to make a splash in the meta. I really do. I think Katsura will too, but I just think Kami's just going to be... He's probably going to be the Kingdom Come of the update. I mean, I could be wrong, but whew, boy, he looks strong. And then we have Gintoki. Actually, before we take a look at Gintoki, I want to take a look at Elizabeth. So we got Elizabeth completely for free, which is pretty cool. And you know what? Actually, let's go into the codex here. So we can actually take a look at Elizabeth's full stats. Okay, so the core effects. Well, sorry. Elizabeth is a red balance type. Increase all fighters' attack, defense, and HP and penetration by 15%. It's an okay leadership, but you probably wouldn't be using, to be honest. But it's okay. 12% strike skill attack damage increase. Very good for Elizabeth. 15% burn damage decrease. 20% burn attack damage increase. Recovers. He has a heal of 2% of HP upon landing an active skill. And then, of course, has the same passive. Really awesome that we got a free fest. That's awesome. First skill decreases damage received by 7% for 4 seconds. And gains super armor on top of that. So that's going to make Elizabeth quite the tank. And then Elizabeth has a stun for 1.5 seconds upon landing a skill, guard included. Whenever I was playing against Elizabeth in the live stream, I kept thinking that he was ignoring my guard, but actually was stunning me and taking me out of my guard and then being able to go into the combos afterwards. Very good stuff. And then the third skill deals burn damage, and that's that Mai looking skill. Pretty cool. And then the striker bonus, the active team members gain super armor, which is wonderful for 3 seconds, and has a heal on top of that. Very good striker skill. So if anything, even if you don't play Elizabeth, that striker skill is pretty sweet. Especially going to be sweet for Hell's Dungeon. Oh, Terry right there. That's pretty cool. Then we got Mr. Big. Oh my, that's hilarious. Then we have Omega here. I actually think it looks awesome watching that skill whenever Elizabeth is wearing Omega's outfit. And this is pretty funny. Looky, looky, looky! I don't know if any of you noticed that, but you might have noticed someone there behind Elizabeth. A little something there to note. But Elizabeth looks like a decent character. I don't think it's going to break the meta by any means, but definitely fun. Super fun to play. You can't complain whenever they're free. Quality, man. Quality. And now let's take a look at... No, this is the wrong version. We want to take a look at, the Fest version. So here we have White Yaksha Gintoki Sakata. And increase all fighters' attack by 30% and HP by 10%. He's a blue balance type. And this is really the thing about Gintoki that I love the most, is we don't have very many strong blues, and we need more of them. The game's kind of unbalanced a little bit with most of the characters. The colors have good, strong characters, and blue are kind of lacking. Not to say that certain blue characters aren't strong, it's just there aren't very many of them. So it's really nice to see another Fest character have that blue. And then we're going to have Leona 12 that's going to come in here as well. We just got mature. So it's building up. It's getting better. We'll take a look at his core effects. He has 30% bleed attack damage increase. He has a crit rate buff, which is really great for him. 15% power charge rate, which is really great because he does have a 3 PG card. This decreases the target's attack and defenses by 15% for 5 seconds upon attacking a bleeding target. So if they're bleeding, he's going to weaken them and increase his attack on top of that. Deals bleed damage equal to 2.5 times of the target remaining bleed damage and remove bleed effect upon landing a critical hit on a 9-second cooldown. What this means more or less is he's going to have bleed explosion. His bleed is going to be through the frickin' roof. There's going to be times we're going to see the character's life bar just melt away because of this. Bleed's freaking nuts. And then of course the same core effect as the rest of the Gintama characters. His first skill, he becomes immune to damage for 3 seconds. That's absolutely wonderful because immunity is really nice even in PvP, because whenever characters are doing their special skills, as long as you get that immunity up, you're not going to take damage during the special skill. And if you have the character awakened, then you have an invincibility iframe on top of that. So it really helps his survivability big time. Plus, this skill has a 50% chance to break the target's guard upon landing a skill. And this thing goes all the way across the screen. It's a pretty fast skill. It ignores target's guard and disables their guard for 4 seconds. So not only that, but it will disable their guard for 4 seconds. So all they can do is roll. You know, if they're guarding and say you have a Ryugo set on him, you could break their guard, but it's still really good stuff. And plus, whenever you do the skill and you break their guard, they're going to be lying on the ground, but you want to make sure you're close. You don't want to be far away, otherwise you won't get to them fast enough to go into your combos. Second skill, applies bloodshed to the target for 6 seconds upon a successful attack. Deals bleed damage equal to 30% of attack every 1 second. Decreases HP recovery by 80%. Very powerful. Characters that have heals, he's pretty much going to alleviate that. He's almost going to destroy it. And then his bleed is just ridiculous. Plus he has the attack buffs, always nice. And then he has super armor on top of having immunity, all the extra bleed. Applies bloodshed again on this skill. Lots of bleed to the target for 6 seconds upon a successful attack. Deals bleed damage equal to 30% of attack every 1 second. And again, decreases the HP recovery by 80%. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. And then the striker skill increases bleed damage dealt to the target by 14% for 8 seconds upon landing a skill. Just a little note, his finisher also has this bloodshed effect. This guy's bleed is through the damn roof. And with that core effect, if you get below 49% HP and have that extra 400% attack, oh my god, I mean, Gintoki's damage could be absolutely insane. And he does have a blast skill on his first skill, and these are actually decent cooldowns too, by the way. Strike skills on his other second and third skill. Those previous skills. I mean, that skill goes all the way across the frickin' screen. Nice. And you want to make sure if you do that first skill first, that you're up close, because if you're far away, you won't be able to get to the character to do this skill or do your third skill. Oh, it's vicious, man. I love it. Oh, I love it. Now, the thing about the second and third skill, you definitely want to make sure you're close. And that's the thing. This skill here, it don't matter where they're at. The only way they can avoid that sucker is dodge. They can guard because he only has a 50% chance to ignore the guard, but 50% is a pretty high chance. Most people are going to try to dodge it. Oh my lord, I love that skill. Freaking love it. And this is cool too. This is cool. This is cool. So it's pretty awesome that they have all that extra bleed on his special skill. Man, I'm loving it. Bleed through the frickin' roof for Gintoki. So all of these characters look very... Gintoki, Katsura, and Kami look very strong. I think Kami looks like number 1. I think Gintoki might be number 2 and Katsura number 3, but it's tough to say between Gintoki and Katsura. Just because a character doesn't have immunity doesn't mean they're worse than another character. Katsura is freaking awesome. So I'm not sure yet. You know, I haven't played with them really, just a little bit. It's hard to say. But just looking at their skills and core effects, It's tough. Plus, Katsura has that PG gain. I don't know how to rate them, to be perfectly honest, but I do think Kami's going to be on top in PvP. I think in PvE, it's probably going to be Gintoki, but we'll see. I have no idea. They're all amazing characters. They're all worth pulling for. Every one of them. Right now, we have a login event where we're going to be able to get a Fest ticket to level these characters up. That's amazing. You know, you're going to, you know, we already showed it once, but you're going to be able to get one of these tickets. And that's amazing. They're giving you a free awakened collab character. So you can awaken one of the Gintama characters or a different collab character if you want. And that's amazing. That is good stuff. Well, all in all, I'm just super happy with this. I know there's a lot of things I haven't talked about, but you know, we have the roulette, we have the dice game, we have, well, this roulette, the dice game, we have the new relay dungeon, which is pretty awesome. This is pretty cool. You know, get 500 rubies from this. Lots and lots and lots of goodness here. I mean, this is pretty freaking sweet, actually. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Wonderful, wonderful update. So let me know how you're all feeling about the Gintama update. So let me know what characters you've gotten, what cards you've gotten, and how you're feeling about the Gintama update. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.